Hello and welcome to Developing Countries channel. On this channel we talk about problems that face developing countries like poverty, bad management and corruption. In this video we explain France Afrique and how France exploit poor countries of Africa, and for this we will take an example the Kingdom of Morocco. While the Sikh lion of Africa is now very Sikhs because of a virus called Mohammed VI, the King of Morocco and his parasite regime. The roosters of France and others take advantage of the dying lion by signing with the kings of Morocco a deal for 100 years that give France exclusive right of exploiting Morocco for 100 years starting from 1955 and ending in 2055, and this agreement is irreversible and able to be renewed. This agreement was done by the King of Morocco to keep his seat in the expense of Morocco in the most act of treason in modern era and a crime from a sovereign against his own country and people. This agreement gives exclusive access for France to dominate Morocco economically for another 100 years, and we can assume that profit from Morocco contribute 3 to 10% of GDP of France since France colonized Morocco more than 100 years ago. This boost France economy and give France more than its true size. So here is how France Afrique work. The first pile is that French take raw material from their former colonies and make a product through their colonies' human capital and then resell their products to their colonies for cheaper price that other countries cannot offer and make huge profit. For example, France buys tomato from its former colonies Morocco below market price because of pre-independence agreement and transport to be manufactured with cheap energy take from Gabon and cheap labor from Morocco, and the finished products will be sold back to Morocco with tax exemption and favorite condition, make sell it immediately and crush competition and make huge profit for France and giving France huge advantage in this colonies market. The second pile of France Afrique is the exclusive access to natural resources. For example, the mines of Morocco and land of Morocco were given to France without any competition from local or international competitors and with condition that privilege France. For example, the oil and gas giant known as Total Energies is built with systematic exploitation of African oil and gas in a poor country such as Gabon. The third pile of France Afrique are the financial control of the former colonies, where most doesn't have a central bank and so their monetary policy and management is done by France, and this give France access to unlimited fund that come from this colonies. The fourth pills is the labor market. France have access to the cheapest labor on earth for more than 300 million people. Imagine France through France Afrique control a market of more than 300 million people, 10 million square kilometers, one of the largest gold reserve, oil and gas reserve, uranium reserve, iron ore reserve, nickel, aluminum, cobalt and more than 3 million hectares of agriculture land. This makes France economically larger than the United States and the European Union. This is why you see France as a global power such as United States and China. France cannot become a power without former colonies like Morocco. These huge profits accumulated over the years and generate a huge economic potential for France, despite France have the same potential of countries like Italy. This is clear why former French colonies are the poorest countries on earth, because of France pillaging every penny in these countries and stored in France for a century. This impoverished the country and make the development of this countries harder, while giving only bullet and civil wars to these unlucky countries like Niger and Mali. And France did this with most countries that gain independence except Algeria and Vietnam, who take their full independence through armed freedom, although some colonies are able to gain their complete independence later like Mauritania and Madagascar. Here is how it works. You are colonized by France in the first 20th century and France in turn is colonized by Nazi Germany, then USA colonize France. United States decided that France must finish the colonization of other countries and France is forced to give independence to colonies but cannot live without colonies' resources, so France give colonies an offer: accept cosmetics independence and we will protect the corrupt leaders from intern opponents, and granted to this corrupt leaders such as the King of Morocco full protection of his regime. At this moment the destiny of this colonies reside on their leaders, who either accept that France exploit their countries for the eternity or gain full independence. While parasites leaders like kings of Morocco accepts their country to be raped by France, and as a proof of this is that in an interview French company chief in Morocco said in English that the French can do what they want in Morocco and Morocco is a spoil of war. In other words, France can rape Morocco under the protection of the king. As like others French modern colonies, France must control the decision of their former colonies, and this is why the most trusted advisor to the king was a French ex-spy officer sent by their master France. In a conclusion, France is a global power because of France Afrique, because of their former colonies like Morocco, and without this colonies France will be a simple country in Europe like Spain or worse. In this video the cause of poverty of developing countries like Morocco is their kings, and a change of regime will give an opportunity for Morocco to get out of poverty and become prosper. The change of the corrupt regime is the unique way for this country to be a developed country, as this regime will destroy any opportunity to be developed. The impact of poverty in developing countries, if not solved, it will lead to civil war and the destruction of the country like Sudan. Finally, please like the video and subscribe to the channel.